Carlos Alcaraz gives a lesson to student Oliver Tarvet, avoiding another scare at Wimbledon. Carlos Alcaraz's path towards his third consecutive Wimbledon title remains smooth after his second-round victory against England's Oliver Tarvet. The local player, with experience from the University of San Diego, gave the Mercian a run for his money in the second set but eventually fell 6-1, 6-4, 6-4 when the Spaniard stepped up his game. Coming from college tennis, Tarvet arrived ranked 719 in the ATP rankings, although that was a misleading position due to his limited experience in ranking point tournaments, despite his strong college background. Invited to the tournament, he came through the qualifying rounds and surprised everyone in the first round by beating Switzerland's Leandro Riti. Carlos Alcaraz didn't want to leave room for surprises from the start, especially after seeing 4 top 10 players fall in the first round of this Wimbledon edition. Alexander Zverev, Lorenzo Musetti, Holger Rune, and Daniil Medvedev were all knocked out early, serving as a serious warning to the rest of the field. Carlos Alcaraz gave no room for surprise at the start. The world number 2 also had to fight hard in an epic match against Fabio Fognini and showed in the first set that he was not going to suffer against a rookie. In the first set, the player from El Palmar left no chance and beat his rival with a clear 6-1, in which the Brit barely held his second serve and failed to get a break, despite having opportunities to lift the crowd. The second set told a different story, with Oliver Tarvet proving that, as a good student, he had done his homework. The Englishman took the first game on serve and surprised Alcaraz with his first break, converting his 9th break point into a 2-0 lead that brought the crowd to their feet, eager to see one of their own triumph despite their affection for the Spaniard. Tarvet even surprised everyone with a vamos, showing he had been a huge Rafa Nadal fan. That fired up the 2-time All-England club champion, who struck back with a love break to make it 2-1 and regain his foothold in the match. Parity continued until a surprising 4-4, after which Carlitos asserted himself, winning the final 2 games by displaying his best tennis. That allowed him to close the set 6-4 and enter the third set with greater calm on the London grass this Wednesday, which would ultimately be the final set of the match. The game distribution at the start ended with a break from Carlos Alcaraz to go up 4-3, although Oliver Tarvet still didn't give in. The University of San Diego player managed to hold his final service game to a cheering crowd thankful for his strong performance, but it was the Spaniard who held his nerve to stamp his name into the third round of Wimbledon. Novak Djokovic can't hold back and confirms what no one expected about Carlos Alcaraz. Djokovic reveals an unexpected detail about the final Carlos Alcaraz played a few days ago at Wimbledon. Novak Djokovic will make his debut this Tuesday at the All-England club aiming to win his 25th Grand Slam title. The Serbian is looking to conquer his 8th Wimbledon, a tournament where he has always shown his best level. The anticipation is high in the tennis world, and everyone expects a great performance from the current world number 1. Before his first match, Djokovic reflected on the last Grand Slam final between Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner at Roland Garros. The Serbian confessed that he couldn't watch the start of the match due to family commitments. He was out with his family, but his companions insisted on returning home to watch the final closely. The intensity of an unforgettable match. When he finally began watching, Djokovic admitted he went from feeling neutral to being very emotionally invested. He said that at first, he wasn't supporting anyone and was watching as just another fan. However, he soon became so involved in the match that he started sweating and feeling very tense. Djokovic described the match as one of the best he's ever seen in his life, highlighting the impressive physical and mental quality of both players. According to him, it was an unforgettable match that showcased extraordinary tennis. His respect and admiration for the new generation is more than evident. For the Serbian, watching such intense duels is a source of motivation. He clarified that he doesn't feel envy but rather a desire to compete again in such demanding matches. This emotion drives him to keep training and striving to remain at the top of the sport. Wimbledon, the perfect stage for a new chapter. The new generation of tennis players, represented by Alcaraz and Sinner, is delivering a show worthy of the great legends. Djokovic sees in them an opportunity to continue raising the level of world tennis. He himself hopes to be part of those thrilling 5-set encounters again. With this mindset, Djokovic arrives at Wimbledon hungry for victories and with undiminished ambition. His experience and ability to face major challenges make him one of the favorites. The Grand Slam season is in full swing, and the public eagerly awaits his debut at the Cathedral of Tennis. Djokovic, favorite at Wimbledon, it's my best chance to win the 25th Grand Slam. The Serbian can never be ruled out in any title fight, especially not in the London tournament, where he's reached 6 straight finals, losing the last 2 to Alcaraz. Novak Djokovic is the last active member of the Big Three formed with Nadal and Federer. At 38 years old, the Serbian is still on tour and plans to keep playing at least until the 2028 Olympics. He's not in his best stage currently, struggling to impose himself on rivals and falling early in some tournaments, looking a step behind in terms of rhythm compared to Sinner and Alcaraz. Even so, he continues breaking records, having won every tournament in the world, earning 100 career titles, including a record 24 Grand Slams and 40 ATP Masters 1000 trophies. Now Wimbledon is approaching, where he has won the trophy 7 times, 4 of those consecutively. Djokovic can never be ruled out of the fight for any title, especially the Grand Slam on grass. He's reached 6 straight finals here, not missing one since 2018. In the last 2, 2023, 2024, he was defeated by Alcaraz. Djokovic knows that this Wimbledon 2025 could be his last train to win the 25th Grand Slam and pull ahead of Nadal's 22 and everyone else. Wimbledon might be my best chance to win Grand Slam number 25 due to the results I've had here, and how I feel and how I've been playing here in recent years, declared the Balkan to L'Equipe. Alcaraz, the first match of a tournament is never easy. The Mercian needed almost 5 hours to overcome Fabio Fognini. Carlos Alcaraz knows he needs to make some improvements if he wants to continue his journey at this Wimbledon. The Mercian needed 4 hours and 37 minutes to beat Fabio Fognini, ranked 130 in the ATP rankings, but he managed to extend his winning streak, undefeated since April 20th, 19th straight wins. Although Carlitos knows there is room for improvement, the level shown by the Italian surprised everyone. To be honest, I don't know why this is his last Wimbledon, because with the level he showed, he could keep playing for 3 or 4 more years. I want to acknowledge his great match. He's a great player and has been throughout his career, and today he showed his talent. I'm sad it's his last Wimbledon, but I'm happy to have shared the court and locker room with him so many times, said Alcaraz fondly about Fognini. The Mercian also reflected on his own match, very different from the performances he had just days ago at Queen's. Playing the first match of a tournament is never easy, especially on center court. I've already played well on grass, at Queen's, but Wimbledon is different and I noticed it. I tried to do my best, but I can do better, and I will try. Overall, it was a good match. Carlitos didn't seem too disappointed, but aware of his areas for improvement. I need to improve, serve is a big weapon on grass. And I want to keep enjoying being at Wimbledon. He was also asked about his next opponent, the surprising and very young Brit, Oliver Tarvett. First, he acknowledged he'd face a crowd supporting their local favorite, but didn't mind. I know it won't be personal, laughs. Then, he showed he had him scouted. When he qualified for the first time, I knew he played in college and had been doing very well on grass. He deserves it and has been playing well, and I'll have to bring my best tennis. If he wants to avoid another tough match, he certainly will. Fognini, ahead of the match against Alcaraz, my son called me and said he wanted to come. Fabio Fognini is not one to give many interviews, but facing Carlos Alcaraz in the first round of what could be his last Wimbledon deserved it. The Italian, very fulfilled by everything tennis has given him, spoke to as an AFA before what could be his final match on center court at the All England Lawn Tennis Club. He said that playing against Alcaraz makes him very happy and that his children would be present. My son called me and said he wanted to come watch the match, and now when we crossed paths with Alcaraz, I told him not to say hi because he's my opponent tomorrow. My son got all fired up, he commented in a relaxed chat with the media. Revealed, the serious problem Carlos Alcaraz faces that no one imagined. Normally, when Carlitos has played Queen's, the court was brand new, with fresh grass. But this year, with the introduction of the WTA Queen's the week before the ATP event, the grass was already worn down. The women opened the court and the same grass is used. This has made the court a bit slower and not the same as what he will find at Wimbledon, where he will play on brand new turf. As last year's champion, Carlos Alcaraz will open play on center court at the All England Club, and it will be in perfect condition. Fresh grass is faster than when it begins to show dirt and wear. That makes the game slower and results in longer rallies, as is happening at Queen's. Nadal knows it well. He's lost early at Wimbledon to much lower ranked players like Steve Darcy, Dustin Brown, or Lucas Rosol. All with short, effective grass court games. That's the trap for Alcaraz when using a worn surface as warm-up. The 5-time Grand Slam winner will need luck in the draw to avoid a big server who could cause him serious trouble on such a fast surface, which will slow down as matches progress. His lack of adaptation might backfire, especially since his main rival, Jannik Sinner, is playing on a fully new surface at the ATP Halle event. We show you below. Be that as it may, Carlitos made this decision and it can't be changed now. His debut, against Adam Walton, was very convincing, and he looked eager to make noise on grass again. His next opponent will be Jaume Munar, a player allergic to this kind of condition but who has improved a lot this season. Alcaraz is aiming for his second Queen's title to equal Feliciano Lopez. Djokovic and the secret to Alcaraz's success: whatever he does there, it's working. Thursday's Wimbledon session gave us a powerful image: Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic training on center court. The protagonists of the last two finals practiced in a session that generated great expectation. Before stepping onto the court, the Serbian spoke to the media and commented on the Ibiza vacation Alcaraz took after winning in Paris. For Djokovic, whatever he does there, it's working. He always wins before and after Ibiza, said the Belgrade native, a 7-time champion at the Cathedral. The former world number one also showered Alcaraz and Sinner with praise after their Roland Garros final. What they did in the final was incredible. I was at home, my wife wanted to watch the match, but I didn't. At first, we went out to eat, but then we came back and ended up watching it. And it was an amazing match. I give both of them huge credit. It's one of the most historic matches we've seen, he said. Sinner and Djokovic prepare to suffer in London. The Wimbledon draw has not been kind to Novak Djokovic and Jannik Sinner, who will have to fight from day one in London, potentially making things easier for Carlos Alcaraz. Wimbledon 2025 is underway, or at least, from this Friday the main draw and all the matches that we'll enjoy starting Monday the 30th are set, along with each player's path to the final on Sunday July 13th. And as always when luck comes into play, some have come out very well off, like Carlos Alcaraz. While others will sweat from the very beginning, like Jannik Sinner, Novak Djokovic, or Jack Draper. Starting with the number one, his first round rival will be his fellow countryman Luka Nardi, who theoretically shouldn't pose problems, nor should that Tseng Vukic winner in the second round. But in the third, the climb begins. He could face the 27th seed and grass court specialist Denis Shapovalov. If he wins, Tommy Paul or Grigor Dimitrov likely await in the round of 16. But the real tourmalet starts in the quarters. Lorenzo Musetti, though coming in with no grass matches this year, or especially Ben Shelton, who plays well on this surface. Then Draper, Djokovic, or a surprise, and the Alcaraz winner in the final. As for Noel, it's very tough. His debut is against France's Alexander Muller, and likely Daniel Evans in round 2. But from there, it gets wild. Alex Michelsen or Chris Eubanks in the third round, de Minaur or Macaque in the fourth, then the winner from Draper, Bublik, or Mensik. Before Sinner in the semis, and a potential final against Alcaraz. Jack Draper against the early round bogeyman. The fourth seed and home hero, Jack Draper, had the unlucky honor of drawing the biggest outsider and sensation of the grass season, Alexander Bublik. The Kazakh was already showing signs of form on clay by reaching the Roland Garros quarters, but now on his surface, he stepped up even more. At the ATP 500 in Halle, he convincingly beat top 10 players like Sinner and Medvedev and wants to go further at Wimbledon, where his best is the 2023 round of 16. He faces Jaume Munar in the opener and Marozsan in the second, but in the third round, his rival could be Draper, a match worthy of a quarterfinal or semifinal. Before that, Draper must beat Baez and Cilic or Collington. If both make it, the winner could easily be a favorite for the late stages. Though Mensik awaits in the round of 16, and Djokovic in the quarters, if they get there, of course.